very early in the morning, and I hope you'll forgive me bringing you Strat Chat from this odd location, but I'm on a walk to somewhere special this morning, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. Oh, don't get too excited, it's perhaps not as special as I might be making it out to be. But we're walking through this most amazing piece of ancient woodland. Let me see if I can show you that path. So that path is in fact, and I'm going to follow, it's very, very muddy, so I'm going to be, camera might be bouncing around a little bit. This path is actually very, very ancient, going through a wood. It is itself very, very ancient. The birds are going nuts, and it's absolutely beautiful here, and there's no one around. I'm not too far away from a small town in England called Haverhill, but it feels like I could be almost anywhere, just hear some distant traffic. But this is called Ladygate Wood. Now Ladygate Wood is actually, it's the wood on the right hand side of here. On the left hand side of this path is poplar wood. Altogether it's a relatively small piece of woodland. But Ladygate is the interesting bit, because Ladygate, lady in Norse or in Old English, simply means the wife of a lord, but gate in Norse means way or path, as in the sense of road. So almost certainly this path was here when the Vikings came in 867, and I'll talk about the significance of them to this area in just a moment. Almost certainly this path was here. Very likely it was much, much older, but because this area eventually became a part of the Danelaw, obviously it's acquired and kept a Norse name. In game terms, I'm in Suffolk, and I'm in the holding of Sudbury, although Sudbury's quite a long way from here. In modern terms, I'm really in the district of Bury St Edmunds. Bury St Edmunds is named after Saint Edmund, or the petty king Edmund, who famously in the Viking series Ivor the Boneless fire a load of arrows into him. Though actually, looking at the historical record, we don't actually know how Ivor the Boneless had Edmund killed, only really that he had him killed. And of course that was the big Mickle here. Mickle here is Mickle is great, here is kind of army, or possibly something closer to criminal gang or something like that. This is the Mickle heathen here, the great heathen army. And it's of course commanded by Ivor the Boneless here, and it's by no means impossible that Ivor the Boneless walked or rode this very path. Well, I like to think it might have been in slightly better condition when he came down this way. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about Duke Borijov. So Duke Borijov is in a really, really good shape. He's got a respectable income now. It's extraordinarily difficult to follow this path. He's got a respectable income now. Obviously, he's going to want it to be much, much higher. But he's got a respectable income. I think in his relatively long reign, and the key thing here is at least to live long enough to bring his son to be ready to rule after him, is going to be to build those mines in Kaslav, of course. I think he needs to become a king, and as he is in the diplomacy tree, I think I might try to get that perk where titles are 20% cheaper. I can't remember what it's called now, but that'll save 100 quid on the forming the kingdom. So I'm very, very tempted to do that. We want to make sure that he has an absolutely banging trait, education trait. So we're going to put all our effort into making sure that our son currently only 3 years old. Need to make sure he gets at least a level 3, maybe a level 4 trait. Now, he's not naturally good at stewardship or learning. I think it's learning is the one that he isn't going to be good at. So he won't be taking that. But I'm not taking Marshall, even though he's a good fit. I'm not taking Intrigue, even though he's quite a good fit for that. Instead, I'm going to be taking Stewardship. Early on, I'll give him a county somewhere, so he can start building up his own perks. And I'm going to try and keep Borijov quite healthy until then. But after that, I'm going to feel quite comfortable doing reckless things, because really I want Premisslid to be king as early as possible. So first thing we've got to do is obviously to do with the nominating our successor. So this is our player heir, Zibislav Premisslid. Okay, and there we go. He is now our primary heir, and that thing's disappeared saying that he's not in our dynasty. Okay, so we don't want one of these. This obviously doesn't work. I am going to go for Stewardship, even though it's not ideal. Do you know what? I think his mum would be great. Let's educate him with mum. And who is my spare? She's intelligent. She's quick. So we want Rachiza. She is in the stewardship thing, and her current... Right, so we will remove me, and we'll educate her with my wife. Let's go with my steward. Be interesting to see them, which of them ends up best. The one being educated by my steward, who has the right education focus, but doesn't have that kind of genius trait. Where all the wife, my wife, or the mother, who does have the genius trait, but obviously isn't in the right education tier. Right, let's look at chosen lifestyle. Okay, I don't really want to be in here. I've got an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 6. So I'm going to reset these perks. I want befriend. Oh, hang on. Well, we'll go with that, see if that increases the number of domain we're allowed. So groom to rule, obviously. Befriend, obviously. Thoughtful's not so important, but ducal conquest, this is the one that's going to give us 100 off the title. None of these really seem that important to me. Yeah, none of those are important. Sway scheme power is good. Got 2 left. Okay, we're going to go for this, because what we want to do is be able to get best friends. Or befriend. Okay. Well, there we are, we're done. Okay, and we're up to 5 here. I don't think my wife can get me to 6. No, in fact, indeed, she's already on managed domain. If I take her off that, yeah, we go down to 4. So she's going to have to stay on managed domain. Okay, we got Count Robert here, who I love. He is not going to be my Chancellor. He's obviously going to be my Marshal. Yep, let's go for it. Right, okay. Obviously, I don't want to give away Caslav because that's the mines. This may be the place to give up. It only has 1 castle. It's not yet fully developed. This is a tribal holding, so we definitely want to give that up. It's not mine anyway. Okay, so actually Boleslav is the one to give away. Oh, really interestingly, this guy looks really good. But I can't afford to recruit him. But I could give him Boleslav. He would make a really, really good physician. And he's a brilliant strategist. Right, we're going to go for Rakish, I think. Station them in Prague. Okay, so we've done that. That's great news. Are we building anything at the moment? Yes, we're going to be a little bit better off once these things are built. So I kind of want to hang on to it, just simply on the grounds that, I mean, how long until I'm going to be a king? Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, so Bohemia. Now I only need 400. I'm already on 150 thereabouts. What methods are there for me to make money? Okay, so I don't have 250, but I can get to that. But he wouldn't accept on minus 105. Mostly it's because of his opinion of me. I have 2 sinful traits. Okay, let's forget about the Pope helping me out here. Okay, let's give something away. So let's give Radic away. Let's give it to somebody very, very elderly with no children. Grant titles, Radic. Actually, let's give him Kaslav, because Kaslav's the least valuable. And he's 81, so he'll die soon. Okay, so nice. We're already getting some hook material. 61%. Okay, so he's presumably the richer of the two. Why is she on minus 50? Okay. Might accept. Let's go for it. Okay, so we're getting some things being built. So up to 4.7. Okay, we could do with this being at 100%. Radic is where my guy should be, so let's send my marshal to Radic. Zatek is mine. What's controlling that area? 96. So that should go back on its own. Yeah, Hamlet. Looking forward to the fishing sorry, looking forward to the Hamlets arriving. Okay, so we got more information. This time it's about Duke Wilhelm of Austria. Okay, I think he's not keen. Okay, so he says he's not interested. Right, I can't reveal his secret because I want to blackmail this in Mayor Wolfgang instead. Okay, well in that case we expose them. Oh wow, so my daughter that I'm not promoting has just got +3 stewardship from my groom to rule. Okay, really need to get this guy Harold on side. Okay, espionage lovers. Okay, I can't expose him because I'm going to have a go with her as well. Okay, I've got a blackmail hook on her. That's something. She's got no money. Okay, so I think we're going to... Yep, let her carry on. Okay, so my mayor is... Sorry, my vassal here is starting to like me more. Actually, my mayor here is starting to like me more. Really don't care. Okay, that's nice. That's got us up above 5. Certainly collecting some hooks here. Oh, she's unfaithful. So presumably that child isn't mine. Well, there's a good chance it's not. Okay. Right, Spy Master. You're now going to Prague. See what secrets you can find. Okay, it's actually an increase now, so let's go for that. Right, he's been swayed. Okay, that's going to increase our money. Not quite, because we're still negative. Right, okay, so he's finished in converting the faith. So I think now we just put him on religious relations and see if the Pope comes to like us a little bit more in time. As I tour the streets of Prague, surrounded by my usual entourage of guards and courtiers, I see something which gives me cause to stop. A peasant beggar with nothing to protect himself from the elements but mud and rags stares back at me with desperate, pleading eyes. I would have moved on, but there was something almost familiar about this lowborn. It was then that a member of my procession points out that he's the spitting image of me. It's harrowing to see my mirror image wallowing in filth, but perhaps I can do something to correct this cosmetic injustice. Have him disposed of, I can kill him, and I will lose stress. Let's do that. Got my stress down a bit. I've got another son. So I think that this boy possibly isn't mine. So I'm now kind of living with my wife, knowing that she's routinely unfaithful to me, but she's actually doing quite a good job as a queen. I can spy on my family, 65% chance I discover the truth. During the daily management of my realm, I've learned of several different opportunities that I could pursue. Each opportunity has great potential, but realistically I can only pursue one of them. I must determine what would be the most valuable. I've heard rumours of a lost book, or Count Stanislav could use help managing his holdings, and I get a weak hook on him. It's in Moravia, so I don't need a hook on him particularly. I mean, how rich is he? All right, just get 100. Okay, let's just get 100. Right, we're very, very close to our 400 that we need now to become a king. Okay. Okay, she is my child. Unfortunately, Constancy is still upset that I would harbour any suspicion at all. Okay, I can become a king. Right, here we go. Kingdom title, 400. Let's form it. That goes up to 6, which is excellent. Let them see their new king. We'll put up our banners. And that one over there. Right, how good are they? That's nice. Plus, 0.2 prestige. Increase my vassal limit. I'm not going to need that in this game. That one obviously nowhere near as good. Okay. Or we could simply take this back. I mean, he might actually accept. And he's an even smaller army. Okay, let's do that. Because this is what we want next, is the mines. Right, I can create an accolade. Okay, so Boethius is my best knight. Maximum size of heavy infantry regiments. Better. Wow. That seems very good. So this can go all the way up to 7 now. Let's hold court as well. Something good might come along. Sounds to me like you may be misinterpreting some charters. Okay, so I'm going to go for that. Worst case scenario. Okay, so I've got a bit of extra money and a little bit of stewardship. Learning lifestyle. Okay, so I could imprison Mayor Vladimir. Right, is Mayor Vladimir wealthy? Yep. Okay, lovely, lovely. I'm back up. Right, I'm up to 6 now. Okay, right, let's have a look at this. Okay, so what do we go for? So we could go for making building cheaper. Go for taxman, which is not silly. But let's go for gold and obligations. So I think straight away we're going to have some hooks. Right, 46, I'm happy with that. Right, I guess the next thing we're saving up for is this. For this we need 460. Right, let's look at my son here. So what I want him to do really is to be inclined towards... Okay, this is he will gain 15 opinion of me. What's his culture? He's Anglo-Saxon. Okay. Right, let's do that. So that's boosted me straight off because he now... Oh no, I thought that was going to increase his opinion by 15. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Yeah, so we've gone to 0.2 now from the church. All right, are we almost done with order? Right, we need to bring Caslav up to full strength, up to full control. I discover the truth with the 93%. Bustanai is the true father of my child. All right, everyone's going to know. So I can't divorce. Unlikely to succeed in imprisoning her. Let's murder her. Okay, so I've got a 95% chance or 94% chance of killing her, so that's fine. At least I won't be getting any more unwanted children. 155. No, it'll cost more. Yeah, we might get something good from it. Okay, let him go. How old am I? 33. Okay, right. No more mucking around, okay? We're saving up for the caves. Can't believe we just spent 150 gold on them. Yeah, no, we'll definitely go for that. I don't mind having a slightly less levies for such fast growth in development. Still losing one. What am I losing? The Duchy of Moravia. Okay, that's fine. Yes, I will lose the Duchy of Moravia to the other son, but I'm keeping all of this. This, actually, right, so we've got somebody who's a poet, a pilgrim, reveller, Midas touched, stubborn, patient, ambitious. She would be a good wife. A low chance of childbirth. Let's go for her. Only slightly worse than the other girl. Much less likely to give me unwanted children. Excellent. Now she's got us all the way up to 7. Okay, so a couple of people will join. I think we can manage that. Okay, I think we'll go for that one. It's quite nice to get her to like me more. Okay, so we should win this war without any difficulty. Okay, I've caught them in battle. Really annoying that they're doing this, but nothing I can do to stop them. Right, here we go. So I've got a trophy. Okay, receive a missive from my adventure with words embellished so I can see him in the theatre of my mind. We've been sailing up rivers, around winding hills. After a drought, the locals told us the river we travelled up dried up ahead of our vessel. Instead of giving up and turning back, we attempted the impossible. I commanded my crew to start building a track and pulley system, and we started to drag our boat across the land toward the next river. Sailed in a sea of grass and daisies. You can probably imagine what I did next. I hope you turn back and cut your losses. Or the boat just about survived the journey. So this is a martial chat. 80%. His prowess has increased by 2. The artifact produced will be of a higher quality. Yeah, let's go for this one. I didn't realise I had to pay for it. Okay, that did not go well. Okay, at least I got some money back from that siege. How much money have they got? 22. Okay, so we might as well do it. Okay, so he's returned. Okay. My lord, my beneficiary Poland announced his arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I return from Tibet with an artifact from my journey. I tilt the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cords. Before peeling layer after layer of fabric inside lies a set of armour. Poland regales the court with a tale of how he came to possess this unusual set, which he's now offering. Okay, and he gains the adventurer trait. So this is great. Really adds to my prowess. And of course I can pass it on to children and things like that. Right, let's look for somewhere to... Okay, so Zatek needs to be brought back up, because that's royal domain. 81, it's gone down because we were raided. Okay, we'll beat them here. I think we got a good chance. Why on earth would you do that, you idiot? Okay, so the Pope, because I've got these negative traits, granted King Arnulf of Bavaria claim on the county of Dubuldy. What about that? He'd accept it. Right, he now can't attack me for his claim on wherever. Okay, let's send these guys back over to do war. Send them up there because they're going to go and try and get that back. Fight the battle there and win it. I'm already on 84%. Gone to 98. Have one. All right. Okay, good news. Revoke title, Borisov. And he will accept that. Excellent. Okay, I'm now on 7 of 7. I now need to get my marshal back out there, working on Zatek and getting that up to full strength. Need to disband all of my troops. It's only a weak hook. Okay, let's get me 50. Get me 35. Get me 100. Okay, so that's got us up to near 200. Okay, well done. That's got us back up to 6.7. Extort subjects. Okay, how much do we get? 65 or 65. Okay, so it's a choice really of what the cost is. Control level in the county of Pelsen goes down by 100. It's not insignificant. Or I gain dread and Pilsen gets county extorted for 10 years. Let's go for that. We'll soon get it back up to
back up to 100. Part of me thinks, why would we? Robert can't protect it himself. Do they have any money already? Yes, they got 40. Right, that's decided it. It's worth it for 40 gold. Blackmail him. So we get 33 from him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I have boys because I've controlled the succession. Yeah, so currently I will lose the Duchy of Moravia to one of my sons. The other son will get nothing. Wealthy lady, accept this blackmail request. Okay, only 15, but 15 is all right. Okay, well done. Right, you got a lot of work to do though. Yeah, here, a lot of work to do. We're down to virtually 0 there, aren't we? Interestingly, I can attempt suicide. I'm going to hang on to life for another 6 years at least, but then I might attempt suicide. Okay, 460, that's enough. Finally constructing these. It will take us 4 years to build. Okay, so Harrop Mordred is now swayed. Church holdings 0.7. Okay, so I know why I'm on so low income now relative to where I was. It's because this Poulsen only being on 24%. It's back at full strength. 4 years, by which time the caves will be built and we'll be on, more than 10, I think. All right, she's grown up and she's a level 4. Right, I'm going to think of her in a minute. Okay, so this is an offer of friendship. It's an offer of truce. That's the leader of Silesia. I'm happy to accept this for a bit of extra gold. Okay, we're going to stop there. And when we come back on Wednesday, I suspect that we're going to go to this grand wedding. And by the time we come back, we'll have another county. Poulsen will be up to 100%. Caslav will have its mine. And we'll have the money absolutely rolling in, or at least that's the plan. Thanks very much for watching. See you on Wednesday. In fact, I'm forgetting to say, don't forget, of course, that tomorrow on Tuesday we have the live stream on Twitch, Stratchat 2, and it'll be episode 2, hour and a half of wonderful streaming. Brilliant. Take care all. See you soon. Bye-bye. So let me explain why I've brought you here for the end of this video. If you look down to the ground where my feet are, I'm standing on the exact intersection of the boundaries between Essex, Suffolk and Cambridgeshire, 3 counties of Crusader Kings 3. If you look down this way, there's a little sort of a little farm track here. To the right hand side of that is Cambridgeshire. And if I just pan around a little bit, I can't see very well because of the sun, but I think there's another, should be able to see another track here. That's the boundary of Cambridgeshire as well. So all the area over here is Cambridgeshire. To the right of this second path is Suffolk that we were just walking through earlier. And if we go all the way around till we come to this irrigation ditch, that's the boundary between Suffolk and Essex. So over here is Essex. Now, of course, in game terms, Suffolk and Cambridgeshire are part of the Duchy of East Anglia, or the petty kingdom of East Anglia. And the kingdom of East Anglia the petty kingdom of East Anglia was set up in the late 5th century by the Angles, a Germanic tribe, came here to Britain after the Romans. And they named this southern portion of East Anglia as the Sudafol, or the South Folk, or the Suffolk as we now call it. And of course Norfolk to the north of there is the land, also the Angles, but the North Folk. So over here we have Essex, that beautiful field. In game terms, of course, it's a county and it's a duchy. Really, in the real world, Essex is game terms, Essex is a county and it's a duchy. In real life it's just a county, but Essex literally is the East Saxons. The East Saxons lived there. Then you got the Middle Saxons, Middlesex, where London is, and then you got Wessex, Alfred's domain, Wessex to the west of London, the West Saxons. And so that makes this irrigation ditch an interesting line, actually, between two ancient Germanic tribes right here in England. The Angles, or the Angles, and the Saxons. And so on that line, I guess, is where is formed what we now think of as the Anglo-Saxon world. And it always strikes me as quite odd that two, in global terms, insignificant local tribes should end up having such influence in the world. Current Earl of Essex is a man called Paul de Vere-Capel, who's just a retired school teacher. But that title has been in the held by somebody bearing that surname since 1604. And of course Cambridge over there, Cambridgeshire, but of course the seat of the great the great university in the game. The great university, you need 40 development to build, and so most people never get around to building it, especially as it's not in the capital of England. In many ways, if I kind of like just sort of pan around a little bit, not the most exciting looking place perhaps that you've ever visited. But it was a short bike ride and then a short walk when the path got a bit rough to here this morning, and I thought it would be a good way to enjoy the morning and introduce the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next episode. Bye bye. Bloody fantastic morning. Like and subscribe.